Paramore. Me Without You. Now, Half Noise. Long ago, the four great bands lived together in harmony, but everything changed when Paramore released the Parahoy lineup. Only the Avatar, master of all four bands, can stop them, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. 100 years passed, and my brother and I discovered a new Avatar, a YouTuber named Wesley. And although his YouTube skills were great, he has a lot to learn before he can save anyone. But I believe Wesley can save Parahoy. What's up, you guys? What's up, zealots? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, you're going to get to know me. My name is Wesley Lindsay. I do all kinds of content. This is my personal channel. So you're going to see I do all kinds of videos like vlogs, reaction videos, anything I want to do on my channel, I do it pretty much. But today we're going to talk about the great Parahoy lineup debacle of 2017. Let's get into this jam.
Throw me into the fire, throw me in, throw me out again.
Now, if you don't know, yesterday Paramore finally announced who's going to be their supporting acts in their Parahoy cruise. If you don't know what Parahoy is, it is a freaking cruise, but it's like Paramore themed, and Paramore plays some shows. It's really cool. It's like the ultimate experience for a Paramore fan. Why is it when I get on YouTube, it's like now I can't say Paramore? Like, that's not, like, I'm not saying it like literally 1,000 times a day. But this is actually my first Parahoy cruise. I'm super excited. I'm not a broke hoe, and I can actually afford to go, and I'm going, and that's awesome. So sometimes being an adult rules. But anyways, so they finally announced their supporting acts, and if you guys don't know, they made an Instagram post about it yesterday. So of course Paramore is there. I'm super excited because the only other band I really know that like I listen to and like, and we all kind of knew they were gonna be there, hoping, honestly, fingers tied, was Half Noise. That's Zach's band. If you don't know who they are, I did a vlog the other day. Shameless plug. Yeah, so you guys can check out Half Noise. That's Zach's band. So good. The music is so good, like no joke. Like even before Zach was back in the band, I've been listening to Half Noise, and their music is so good. Sudden Feeling, such a good album. And then we have the Velvet Vase EP, which you have Scooby's in the back. Awesome. So yeah, I'm super excited. And then we have their supporting guests, local natives. Haven't heard of them. Judah and the Lion. I've heard of them. I know they're like big on the radio right now. Probably they have like a good single out right now. I don't, honestly, I don't know. Me Without You, that's Taylor and Haley's favorite band in the absolute world. I do not know them. Yeah, and then we have Now, and then Mija. I think that it says M-I-J-A, so it might be Mija. I don't know. I'm pronouncing it like Spanish, Mija. I just don't know. And then they also have the comedians Jordan Rock and Ryan O'Flanagan. And now I'm calling this the Great Parahoy Debacle because I am a member of the Parahoy Cruisers group. There's like an official group on Facebook where people just talk and communicate about the Parahoy cruise and just getting it hype, the anticipation hype before the cruise. And it has been a freaking train wreck since the lineup has been announced. Now, I'm not going to go deep and talk about everybody and what their preferences are, and I just have to say there's a lot of people going ham right now, just pretty much like shitting on this supporting guest and like, oh, I wanted this band, blah 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 blah. Like I said, you guys, I don't know these other bands. We didn't have the set list. So you pretty much have to invest your money in like, okay, there's a big chance the set list or, you know, those other supporting acts I might not like, and you just have to deal with it. And a lot of people are just really going ham and just really disappointed and really shitting on this list. Now, I personally think, like, you guys, like, whoa, chill, relax. Like, you don't need to go on a social media rampage and talk about your disdain for the supporting acts. That is pretty ridiculous. And for me, I was thinking of, if you're willing to go on a Paramore cruise, maybe you would be willing to spend the next 4 months to even just check out some of this music. You might like it. You might like local natives. You might like Now, you know? Just give it a chance. But if not, that's your prerogative. I'm just saying, you know, do whatever you want with your money. Understand you're spending thousands of dollars to go on this cruise. You know, you want it to be ideal, and even though it's not realistically ever going to be that way, never going to be, you know, it's your money. You just want it to be well spent, and if you decide to pull out the Parahoy cruise, there's going to be tons of people willing to take your spot. And I just have to say, you know, you guys just don't need to go on social media. Tirades, just going crazy on this set list. Now, I would like to say, like I told you guys, Paramore, I'm like set. Like, it could just be all Paramore and I will be completely set. Have Noise is a big plus. And everybody else, I'm going to definitely take my time, open up my Apple Music and check out some of their music, because I heard some great things about these bands. But I have to say, something else I'm excited about that I've even stated a couple of times on social media is that I'm super excited about these comedians. Now, you know me, I love comedy. Like, I'm damn near a comedian myself. Okay. I'm super excited about that. And I looked, and apparently this guy, Jordan Rock, he is a comedian, and he's black. Now, I'm like already laughing hilariously already because I just, like, black comedians, let me just say this. Black people and white people generally do not have the same taste palette when it comes to comedy. We just, like, we don't. And so the fact that there's some kind of black representation in this Parahoy lineup just makes me feel so comfortable, and I just know that I'm gonna be able to relate to his comedy. I'm going to be able to enjoy his comedy way more than per se a white person. And that's just my perspective on it. And I'm just like, yo, just representation and diversity, inclusion. It just makes me feel really good to just know that even though there's not might be any black bands on here or anything, but we do have, you know, you guys did grab a black artist. And I even said this too I commented on the actual post. I was like, a black comedian, nice. And then Haley actually responded to me out of nowhere saying, yeah, the comedians are so good. So I was like, yes, we got some kind of representation. It's just great. It's just a great thing. Now, there's something else I want to talk about. This whole Parahoy list debacle. There's another ugly side to this all. Now, like I told you guys, I love representation. I love seeing other people of color. I love seeing everybody being represented. It's like, why we don't need to stick to the typical Eurocentric everything. So there's this post on Parahoy Cruisers. Like I told you guys, I said my little piece. I'm just glad there's some kind of black representation there. But Sam, I think she will love to be represented in this. She posted on the Parahoy Cruisers group a great concern. She says, all right guys, don't hate me, but is there ever going to be any more people of color bands, POC people of color bands or acts represented on these cruises? I'm not trying to start anything, just something I've noticed as a person of color myself. I'm not looking down on anyone at all or insinuating anything, but they are severely underrepresented. Anywho, good day all. Now, I saw this. I was like, preach, sister. Good one. Now, there's something I immediately, before I even read the rest of these comments, because I was kind of late on the post, relatively late when this was posted, I noticed, like, for me, it's like, it just kind of shows you the state of mind as people of color we have to be in, kind of on the defensive mode. Like, we have a legitimate concern about something that we're not included on, and we have to be apprehensive about even asking. Like, the fact that we're even asking to be represented is, like, something we have to tiptoe around of. And it just shows you the state of mind that, you know, it just shows that's not even right. Like, she should not be able to have a legitimate concern and she has to walk around it or be like, oh, I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings. Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. But there is some comments I just shows you the problem here. There seems to be some kind of animosity or some kind of ingrained just some, what is the word? Hostility? Is it bias? Is it unconcern for people of color's concerns? As a person of color, as somebody that has stated that I just love seeing other people of color on supporting Paramore on their Parahoy cruise, something I'm investing my money in, I just want to back my black sister up, or, you know, not even black, just person of color, my sister up, and say, just reassure her that her post is warranted. I say this is always a fair question to ask. This is exactly why I was excited to see a black comedian. Also because I'm able to relate to the content more, lol. Now, Sam backs me up. I'm just trying to support her. She says, right, like, you never see people who look like you or represent you. It does send a message. Whether or not that was the intent, and to have even the slightest bit of anxiety about whether or not you will enjoy something because you don't feel represented sucks. And like I told you guys, in this scene, we're not represented at all. Me and other people of color, we're going to be in a small margin. We're going to be on this cruise deck filled with white people everywhere, miles of white people. And you guys might not get it because you're white. You might not feel that way. But this is how we feel in America. This is any black person. Wherever you go, you're probably going to be the only black person there. And especially in this scene, you're probably going to be the only black person there. And that's just in the state of America, how it's always been. You're always on your P's and Q's, just like, okay, you know, you don't want to let your guard down, you know? So there's one commenter that comments on this that really just doesn't, I'm just going to read what she says. What? I guess an American going on a cruise with an American band, I just don't feel unrepresented at all. I think the point of music, and maybe even the cruise, is to bring people together no matter what color you are, where you're from, what your sexual orientation is. We all have a common interest, Paramore. I'm not trying to be negative, but just live. It's a 4-day cruise that only comes every so often. Praise hand emoji. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. That's how we grow. Now, this comment is extremely ignorant. This comment is filled with white privilege. It's filled with white ignorance. It's just a lack of just understanding the viewpoints of a person of color living not only in America, but of the world that we live in. Sammy, she says it lightly. You missed a point. I agree, you missed a point. My response to this person, POC means people of color. That has nothing to do with whether someone's an American band or not. Like I said, the original post was talking about people of color, and for her to come out of nowhere talking about, oh, I don't feel unrepresented because there's American bands. What? Nobody's talking about American bands. I'm sure Paramore is gonna have tons of American bands, but what they don't have is people of color represented in this lineup. That was the original question to be posed to begin with. This shows this part of her little speech right here, her little covenant speech. I don't know what she wants to call it. She says, I'm not trying to be negative, but just live. It's a 4-day cruise that only comes every so often. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. That's how we grow. Now, this, like I said, this is white privilege. This is the consciousness of a white person that does not know the viewpoints of a black or any person of color in America. You can't just live in a white America. You can't when you're a person of color. Let's think of Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin has his hood on, walking around America, has his nice cold Arizona tea, bag of Skittles. I do that all the time. I'm about to snack it up. I'm enjoying my life, just living. Trayvon Martin was just living when George Zimmerman shot him because he's a black man. Eric Garner, he's just a pack of cigarettes. He's just living and he's killed. You know, when you're a person of color, we're always just trying to live, but somehow racism, bigotry, you know, lack of concern, animosity just finds its way and just disturbs and destroys our life. So this comment, just live, when we have a legitimate concern, that just shows your white privilege and the fact that you don't have to walk around and wonder if a KKK member wants to enact some rage on you and hang you from a tree like they used to do in the 1950s, like, you know, back in your grandparents' age, you know? For you to take what we said and say that, oh, you don't feel unrepresented because you're American, when we're talking about people of color, two totally different things, just you're trying to snuff us out. And to me, the fact that the original poster had to be apprehensive about her inclusion of people of color is ridiculous enough. You completely missed the point. She goes back and she says, Well, I'm sorry I came off as rude and made light of your concern. That wasn't my intention at all. I was just trying to stay positive and talk about how I feel about it. I agree that I missed your point, but instead of lashing out about it, you could just help me understand your point. If it really offends you, I'll delete my comment. And this is the internet for you guys. You know, she might think I just went off on her. And you know what? I don't care if she's hurt by what I just said. Because right now, you're offended by, you feel like I lashed out at you on the internet. But the real problem is, there's a bigger problem issue here. Black people are not represented. Not only that, we are disproportionately attacked and harassed by the police. We're getting killed. You know, the KKK is being not resurrected. They're resurfacing. You know, we have neo-Nazis running around everywhere. We're disproportionately killed by police. But you know what? I'm not about to spare your white feelings. And this is just, in this context, right now, this is the internet for you. You don't have to have a comment on every freaking thing. This has nothing to do with you. And I go ahead and tell her, it's the internet. It's always hard to judge somebody without context. You might have a good intention of telling us, just live your life, and negativity and racism is not going to affect you. I tell her that this is a situation you shouldn't have given your opinion at all. You know, you don't have to give your opinion. Just shut up. This has nothing to do with you. Don't say anything. Just shh. Okay. Shh. There's times in your life where, you know, somebody might be stating an opinion and it has nothing to do with you, so you don't have anything to say. Just let it be. Now she comes back and she tries to play the victim role. Try to make me the villain. She says it's funny, it's funny, but it's true. I don't know why she thought what I said was funny, because I told her to shut up and it just has nothing to do with her. Well, I didn't tell her to shut up. I told her that, like, this conversation has nothing to do with her, and sometimes it's best not to say anything at all. So, but she says it's funny, but it's true. If it doesn't concern me, then you don't need my 2 cents. For all my intents and purposes, I hope you guys will enjoy the cruise, and hopefully they will diversify it. If it's not on this voyage, then the next. It's been fun, you guys, but I have to go put my foot in my mouth elsewhere. Good. Bye. Thank you. I guess you learned a point that, you know, not everything is about you or your viewpoint or whatever. I'm just saying that for all purposes, you know, Sam and I brought up a great concern that we want to see more representation. And for me, Sam wanted to see more representation, which I'm all for. And I was not fine, but I was even just glad to see that there was one person of color going to be a supporting act for this Parahoy cruise, you know. And there's some people that there's more people that, you know, there's one girl. One of the comedians is a person of color, so why is this even a post? I correct her saying hiring one person out of your maybe hundreds of people you hire that are all white, but you have one black person, one person of color, does not equal inclusion or diversity. Let's throw that right there. That right there is that one person that says, I can't be racist. I have one black friend. That's exactly what her moment was, trying to shut us down. Like, what? They can't be racist. They hired one black person. Are you kidding me? And even my response to what I said, she put a laugh emoji thing, just showing her that she doesn't care. She completely just thinks what I said is full of shit. So I was like, you know what, racist Rebecca, you know, I don't need your validation, but you're wrong. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to keep going back and forth. There's a lot of people commenting on this, but I have to say, shout out to you, Sam, for bringing up that question. People of color, this is a big, long post, and I just want to say that, like I said, she shouldn't even have to be apprehensive about asking this question. She should not have to walk around, or even the fact that she felt like, even she brought up the concerns of, you know, wanting to have inclusion and diversity in this cast might make it seem like, you know, she's starting drama. She shouldn't have to feel that way, because if it was somebody asking about wanting LGBTQA plus representation, everybody been like, oh yeah, let's have more LGBT plus inclusion. Let's have that representation. If it was somebody wanting to have a female act, they would have loved that. If it was an all-female band, everybody would have been all for that. But the second we were like, hey, let's have some black bands, let's have some black comedians, let's show some black support, that's when everybody's like, whoa, hold up there. What are you doing, Wesley? How dare you ask this question? How dare you start this drama? This is not the right place to ask this question. That just shows you right there that some people just have just an biased kind of subconscious kind of bigotry or whatever you want to call it. But that's what I have to say. There's a whole big debacle about this whole Parahoy lineup when it comes to the artists, the musicians that are supporting Paramore, like Now, Me Without You, Half Noise, all that stuff. I have to say, I'm going to check out those bands. I'm going to give them a listen. And hopefully I'm going to enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, I might not see them on a cruise, big whoop-de-doo, but I'm not going to go on Facebook or Twitter and cuss them out and go crazy because the set list is not exactly how I want it. And for the person of color, shout out to you. What's your name again? Jordan? Jordan, I want to commend you, actually, for you to be a comedian that's going to be on a mostly white cruise, being a black comedian. I understand. I know this is going to be a big challenge because they might not be able to relate to your comedy, and it takes so much balls and strength to even go up there and even try to perform your art for them. So, I mean, that I just commend you there. Anyways, you guys, this is not long, but just so much stuff I need to be said about this whole debacle that's been going on social media. As you guys know, I'm Wesley Lindsay. Make sure you guys follow me on all my social media site, guys. Wesley on everything: Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and then also subscribe for more content. I'm going to be live vlogging my Parahoy cruise endeavors, and you're just gonna love my content. Anyways, you guys, Wesley Lindsay, peace out, stay blessed, drink your water, and check out those bands. Now, Me High, Me Without You, Half Noise, and somebody else. Make sure you guys check them out. Be nice. Stop being an asshole on the internet. Nobody likes that shit, boy. Alright, bye.